You're listening to Mondo Cool, the only Dragon Ball movie podcast that gives you a Zenkai boost.
That's right, boys. Mondo Cool.
What's up, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back. It's time for another edition of Mondo Cool. That's the GigaBoots Podcast Network's Dragon Ball movie review podcast, where we discuss Dragon Ball films. Our power is still maximum. Again, I'm your host, KZ Excellent of KZExcellent.com, and with me, as always, are Dan and Bob Video Games from GigaBoots.com, big Dragon Ball fans.
Bob, where were you when I was drowning in the ocean?
Kakarot. And over there, pissing on Dan, I guess, is Mr. Field. Mr. Field.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm peeing on you.
This show is very important, I assume, because it somehow made it past 10 episodes. We're doing really good on it, in fact. What we do is we discuss every single Dragon Ball special or film. We give a summary of it, discuss the whole thing, do a few segments, give a score, a rating, and then I drunkenly try to read a spreadsheet we made over a year ago. But you have the opportunity to get this like 1 or 2 weeks early, because this appears somewhere else first. Feel, say words.
You can get early access to Mondo Cool by contributing to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. As little as $5 a month gets you early access to Mondo Cool, as well as early access to Chugging Bleach, our Bleach anime review podcast. In addition to those two anime shows, you also get commentary tracks for our Cursed Content Club show and exclusive access to Cursed Content by Committee, our Patreon exclusive and voted Cursed Content show, which also comes with a commentary track. As well, you get Armchair Dev pitches for our show Armchair Devs, wherein we get to reveal the things we didn't get to reveal during the actual show because the show is structured to not let us talk. That's patreon.com/gbpodcasts.
Now, if you didn't join us or forgot what we did in our last episode, we discussed and reviewed possibly the most pathetic thing we've had to see for any of our shows ever, which was Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans, an OVA thing made for the Playdia. You don't know what that is, and neither do I. But today...
Not the worst, but the most pathetic for sure.
You are insane. Today, we are going to be checking out an exciting Dragon Ball Z film, because as you know, we love it when something gets a sequel. Last time Cooler got a sequel, and that was really good. I can only expect even better here as we review Dragon Ball Z Broly Second Coming, or as it's said in Japanese,
Dragon Ball Z, the dangerous duo, Super Warriors Never Rest.
What?
What?
That's just confusing.
Can I get that one more time?
Yeah, just do it again.
Dragon Ball Z, the dangerous duo, exclamation point. Super Warriors Never Rest.
Man, even in the titles, women don't exist in Toriyama media. Jesus.
And this apparently Gohan doesn't even exist. This was a Trunks and Goten movie and I didn't notice.
Maybe the dangerous duo, like, we're not sure. It could have been Videl and Krillin.
Maybe it was Broly. He's two guys.
Maybe the actual Japanese name will clear.
Yeah, butcher the Japanese.
Dragon Ball Z Kiken na Futari Super Senshi wa Nemurenai.
Oh yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, which means it could be good. Now, this is the part, according to my... let me see if I have the correct script here. Dan, summarize this Dan, summarize this thing we watched.
Oh, okay. This is very different from our other show where I summarize this good thing we watched.
No, this has to be good, right?
So, this is, for people not keeping track, the second coming of Broly. It's in the title. So,
oh, thank God.
Broly's back. We're not going to address how. We're gonna have people on screen literally say, "How did that happen? What?" That's how we're gonna address that. We're just gonna go, I guess he's back.
What are you talking about, Dan? In the intro, we have an elaborate thing showing how he got blown up completely, but then also he was in an escape pod. They got him all the way to Earth and then crashed and then froze.
Yeah, I was gonna say unrelated to that. The
You
opening.
see, what
of the
happened is Goku did not put in the input correctly for the fatality.
Oh, that's tragic. I thought the planet, the comet that crushed him would have, but apparently not.
Don't talk about anything related to the plot of Broly.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So we'll just keep moving. But yeah, as Bob said, a capsule hits the fucking planet. Broly rolls out of it. He goes for like 2 seconds and then gets frozen. Frozen deep in a winter landscape. It's very snowy, very arctic, and then we cut to scenes of Goten, Trunks, and Videl hunting for Dragon Balls because Goten wants all the cake in the world. Trunks wants an amusement park he can ride rides for free and don't have height limits.
Your parents are rich, you little shit.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And Videl wants... We forgot to write that.
Videl is tending to the children because she's a woman in something related to Toriyama.
I know, it's fucking excruciating. I wish I was dead. Anyways.
My skin is cold.
Yeah, I thought that we were going to get some explanation to why Videl was there, or maybe she wanted the wish specifically for something. But
Yeah,
we never get to that.
I was waiting for it, honestly. I was like, there's got to be some motivation she has where she would need... No. Okay, so
I watched
anyways,
this dubbed with the subtitles on, still no explanation.
no,
Yep.
none. It's funny. There are a couple of scenes where the localization tries to write in a little bit more of what was missing, just a smidge. But anyway, let's continue with the summary. So they're searching for these Dragon Balls. There's a goofy scene with them and birds, and oh my god, you dropped it, and oh, we found it. Oh, the birds are pissed. Let's leave. We then move on to a village in said Arctic tundra where they're sacrificing a little girl named Coco, and they're sacrificing her to the beast that has apparently caused all sorts of famine and other ruin to them for the last 7 years, and they've been doing this sacrifice thing once a year by their own word. So Broly doesn't even do anything, and his bad writing is killing people. He's just living in the ice, and they're just killing people. So that's pretty impressive. His power really, truly is maximum.
His angst spread to the forest.
So he, they're doing the sacrifice of Coco. That's when the crew shows up, being, of course, Goten, Trunks, Videl. And they introduce themselves loudly as people complain. And then they say, hey, we came from the sky. And they go, what? You're bullshitting us. And then Goten flies and plays goofy music. Then he gets ADD and stares at a mountain peak. Then we continue the rest of the scene where they're like, you can't sacrifice Coco. That's stupid. We'll deal with the beast. So then they have to hide it in like a feast dish that's left out for what is the beast. So there's apples and all sorts of other food. And then Goten and Trunks are like, oh, we're so hungry. And Trunks grabs some food and eats it real quick. And when Goten tries to do it, Videl just bitch slaps him.
I thought it was pretty fucked up, the part where Videl's like, you can't sacrifice that girl. You need her to bear children and tend to the children. And that's her motivation for interfering. It was kind of fucked up.
Just a little bit. So they're hiding in this dish. When she bitch slaps Goten, he starts screaming and crying and bawling, and he opens the lid to the dish, and Broly can hear his Goku-like crying, and he starts shaking and doing his thing and going,
He's like revving up, like you're pulling the cord on the Broly.
Yeah, he it's like that scene in what was it, Ghost Rider 2? But anyway, so he's doing his thing. He starts revving up, and then she's like, "Okay, Goten, you could eat," and he just eats and stops crying immediately. And she looks floored. And then Trunks is like, "Haha, you fell for his crocodile tears." And then she just goes, "Eh," or in the US dub, she goes, "You," or something like that. And then a dinosaur comes up. Oh, I guess the beast was a dinosaur. Zany Cena fighting the beast, as in like torturing it, and then Trunks punches in the nose so hard it kills it, and then they eat it.
It was fucked up.
It was a little fucked up.
I'm not a fan.
Dragon Ball's really into torturing dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
They are. When Gohan was being trained by Piccolo, there was the dinosaur where he kept cutting off its tail to eat chunks of it.
Yeah, I think about that a lot, actually.
It's still so weird that the big scary monster ended up just being a dinosaur. So it's like, how did feeding him once a year sate his urge? Like, that's insane.
There's like 85 villages.
I guess.
So they kill the beast. It's all over. And as a part of the deal, Trunks was saying that the dipshit shaman, which I totally skipped over, who was pulling out this ceremony, where in the Japanese dub, they don't really point out how much of a dipshit he is immediately. But in the US dub, they just go, he's the village idiot and self-appointed shaman. Or self-appointed priest. And it was the funniest fucking line. I was like, I'm really glad we're just going to be upfront about how stupid this man is.
He's a village idiot, but we're listening to him as we sacrifice our children.
Yeah, because they ran out of other ideas. But yeah, so a part of the deal is Trunks would get to keep his necklace, which has what appears to be a Dragon Ball on it. The movie forgot to write the scene where it isn't a Dragon Ball, and then Trunks goes, oh man, I did all that for nothing. We just don't bring it up. We just move on to them then stumbling into a Dragon Ball, which is a little weird, but we're not going to talk about it.
That was pretty cool.
I was like, yeah, that wasn't a Dragon Ball, was it? But we're not even going to have a single shot of them seeing that it's not and saying, oh, darn, we did all that for nothing. Anyways, they're going to sleep. In the original Japanese, Videl says something along the lines of, they forgot all about searching for the Dragon Ball as these people sleep at night. Because children sleep, they clearly forgot about finding the Dragon Balls. So that's a whole thing. Then in the morning, Videl is awokened by Broly revving up. He's got like his tailpipe modification, so that way he's louder than ever.
Very excited.
Yeah, he just starts pissing energy everywhere, and it's really powerful, and everyone starts freaking out, and it's shaking and stuff. And I'm gonna be honest, the rest of this movie is really bad fight scenes, so I'm fading.
Yeah.
We get the scene of Gohan noticing, and then it takes him like 2 hours to get over there.
Yeah, it takes the movie to fly over. One, man, he must really be paying attention to ki levels if he could just notice that from that far away, I guess.
Well, Broly is so strong.
Maximum power.
That's true.
Now,
But Gohan's on 3 planets away.
I have to like ask.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody else? It's time for the Aqua Teen comparison for this movie.
Oh.
Did anybody else just get that vibe with all of Broly slow floating? Because there were a lot of shots of him like slowly floating towards someone.
I mean,
it reminded me like of how Frylock floats.
It wasn't me this time. I didn't get that at all.
But
I did not get that vibe. However, instead of that vibe, I went, man, there are a lot of shots where you just kind of linger or float or do something slowly. You just want to stretch this as hard as you can.
Yep. So what we've described by now is the first 20 minutes of runtime. So what the rest of this film is rather extended fight scenes with Broly that aren't
None of
the
which
worst,
are good.
but none of them are good.
Yeah, I don't think that
Now-
it ever gets like really bad, but yeah, it's never like extraordinary.
It's all like super it feels super slow, like when Broly grabs Goten and Trunks and slams them into the floor. It just feels so slow.
See, here's the funny thing. I was going to say, at least they don't do that thing some other Dragon Ball movies have done where they do a thing and then they do that thing again and then they do that thing again, where a movie is 4 times Goku trying to do a spirit bomb or a beam or something.
Right.
But he said that scene where Broly slams their heads into the ground or slams them into the ground, I'm like, which time? There's the time he slams them into the water. There's the time he slams their heads into the ground specifically. There's the time he throws them into the ground.
Where he's palming their heads.
Okay,
and
yeah.
slams them into the ground.
That's what I figured.
At the start, when Broly first shows up and is in normal Super Saiyan, and Videl steps on, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah,
This isn't your place, Videl.
I've learned something from watching this, which I didn't notice it when we watched Broly.
Uh-huh.
I think Super Saiyan Broly, where he has his pupils, might be one of my least favorite designs for any character.
Oh,
that
you
we've
mean
seen.
you mean when he is the virgin meme but has golden hair? He's not huge.
Yeah. He's like Super Saiyan, so he's not the powers maximum yet. Every time it cut to his face, I'm like, you're the biggest fucking doofus they've ever put as a villain.
Yeah, it's not good. It's really bad.
Where I'm like, did they just make him not cool? I forgot he had the legendary form. So I was just really confused for like half this movie.
This movie has the most instances of, why aren't you transforming? Why aren't you transforming? Why aren't you transforming? Like, there's a point where Goten and Trunks are just fighting Super Saiyan Broly normally, and then Gohan shows up and he won't transform either.
Yeah, that part was nuts.
Yeah, so we're watching a DBZ movie.
Right. I was gonna say it felt like par for the course for me for a Dragon Ball Z movie. They really have that problem. It's for
Did that happen in BoJack? I feel like by the point we got to Broly and BoJack, the characters are like, "Oh, I better transform immediately."
I don't
remember. It's been a while.
I don't think they did that in BoJack. I think they still had the same problem, but whatever. It has been a while.
It feels more insane to me when they're fighting who they know is a Saiyan and is a Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Goten and Trunks don't know that. They're just like, oh, he has the yellow hair, whatever.
I mean, you even have moments where Goten and Trunks undo being Super Saiyan and go back to normal and then try to punch and kick him. And it just results in this fucking face where he's just like, oh, that's cute. Good job, kids.
That's the only good shot of that form in the entire fucking film.
100% correct.
I like
that. Is
what's up, Bob?
That is real strong armchair devs energy.
Yes. You think that those are strong? I was just gonna say I appreciate some of the animation they did with Vidal's dress. Like they gave her the outfit from the village, and then they actually animated her fighting in it, and like did a lot of flowing animation in it.
There was also like they also fought in a new cool place.
See, this is really bullshit, Bob, because I didn't even finish my summary. I was going to ask to go first for best dressed.
That's not in the show, Dan.
I really did like her outfit. I think I've liked it more than anything that showed up in Bleach recently, which, viewer, we record these at a very different rate to chugging Bleach, so don't try to figure any timeline based on that shit.
A brain maze.
1 week we record 8 Mondo cools, and they're done for 8 months, and then we record.
We've been dead since 2019. Good luck figuring this shit out.
And then we record 45 chugging Bleaches the next day.
You have to really hone in and go, what's the date of this joke?
But yeah, it's we've got a number of fight scenes. Just a number of fight scenes. Vidal's outfit was great, though. Like, that's probably the highlight of this film, honestly.
Yeah. I enjoyed the serial killer scene with Broly.
Where he's just floating around like Frylock and Trunks is hiding in a waterfall.
Yes.
It's
I
pretty
cannot
good.
believe every film someone finds something. Every film. Every fucking film.
Did you also enjoy the scene where they get thrown down into like the mining area for the crystals and the spheres that, you know, look a lot like Dragon Balls, and Trunks just pulls down his pants and smacks his ass at Broly because, you know, the guy who beat the shit out of you 5 times already is someone you should bait with your ass?
Yeah, that was par for the course. It was intensely a Dragon Ball Z movie during this movie. We had that. We had Trunks peeing on. We had Goten peeing for no reason.
Lots of piss.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was intensely OG Dragon Ball movie.
I very much enjoyed just the joy in Broly's face as he beat up these children.
Oh yeah,
there's just a lot of shots.
There's
There's a lot of shots of him just smiling serenely as he twists their heads off.
Yeah, no, he's clearly like a wrestler villain.
He's gone like full. I think that being frozen altered his brain.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
like he's gone full.
Yeah, he doesn't
on.
like he doesn't like
think.
talk at all, does he?
He
He says Kakarot.
He has one line at the end of the movie, and that's it. Other than Kakarot.
Like, my issue here is that one, seems brain damaged.
Yes.
2, seems so beaten up, like, to the point where he has that energy of the wrestler who has returned to the WWE for one match, but is 85 years old and has had 4 strokes, where everything is super slow. Like, he tries to break Trunks' back, and I'm like, this is taking 5 minutes.
Rest, hold.
It's yeah. It's just, yeah. We didn't explain it. I feel like it's worth explaining. Trunks, Goten pees when he's searching for the Dragon Ball, which he dropped among all the crystal spheres. Trunks is holding it in, and then when, like Phil was just describing, Broly tries to break him in half over his own head with his head on his back and pulling his leg and arm. That's when Trunks just kind of snaps and then pees because he can't hold it in anymore. He's just like, I'm done. I'm Dobo. And then pisses on Broly's head. Now, the funny thing is, I think a writer at some point went, won't it seem random if Trunks just pees out of nowhere? We should explain that children pee by having Goten pee before this.
We should explain the concept that these two kids synchronize piss cycles.
Yes. Could you do that with a line earlier in the film about, like, I'm going to go, and Trunks being like, I don't need to go. I can hold it in. Could you do that? No. Show more on-screen pissing. That's the way to do it.
Well, yeah, that Toriyama thinks that's the funniest thing in the entire world. We've been so caught up in how thoroughly mediocre this movie is, we forgot to herald the first time out of the actual Dragon Ball Z movies, not counting that fucking stupid OVA for the Palladium. There's no oolong. We're free.
Oh my God, he's right.
Yeah, no oolong. I noted.
He was the thing keeping this together.
There was a stunning amount of restraint in this movie with what characters they used. It's just who they picked make no sense.
What, Vegeta's there, but he doesn't even... He doesn't sense it somehow. He's just busy.
He just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Him and Yamcha are in a drinking contest, I assume. I don't know. I was trying to think of what Yamcha would do if he was here, and I was like, yeah, he might challenge fucking Broly to a drinking contest. He's a fucking dipshit.
I honestly had the moment while we were watching this, was like, what's that segment we do? It's about a biggest jobber of some sort. Who's it named after? Some character's not been in these movies for a while. Oh, well.
Chi-Chi.
When was the last time Yamcha was in one of these?
BoJack.
Yeah, I was.
Oh yeah, he was in. But he didn't fight.
No,
he tried.
He
did try.
He bitched out immediately.
Yeah.
So to briefly summarize the rest of the film, Gohan eventually makes it there, which takes 15 minutes of the film. He makes it there. Broly's power is maximum. Broly starts kicking his ass. Broly shoots a fucking beam at him that's about to hit him, and instead of getting out of the way or deflecting it, Gohan winces and goes as it almost hits him, and then the energy sphere drops down to hit Goten and Videl, and then that's when Gohan goes super fast to catch up to the energy sphere and knock it away with his hand. And then he has to make it a barrier between him and the explosion from that. I thought that scene was one of the stupidest.
Yeah, it is real dumb.
I especially like after the explosion goes off and it's clear Gohan's barrier wasn't strong enough to fully defend all of them. People go flying. You see Trunks and Goten just eat shit flying into the ground. And then Videl floats down slowly because she's wearing a dress, and that's how that works.
Yeah.
It's Peach rules.
It apparently is.
Now, you're Gohan. Let's do this mental experiment. You're Gohan.
Oh no.
Okay.
You're confronted with Broly, a guy you know who can get super huge and become effectively invincible.
His skin is cold.
Do you immediately transform to full power and try to defeat him before he can become invincible?
I'm sorry, Phil. Again, we're watching a Dragon Ball Z movie. It's impossible to do that.
How are you on episode 16 and it's not sinking in yet?
This is just a
even
part
more
of their brain.
farcical when it's a character they already have. Gohan already knows who is already doing the thing he can also do.
I'm sorry, this is like the order of operations in math, unfortunately.
That part of their brain
the
field
movie
doesn't
part
function.
is first.
It's a real shame. So of course Broly gets huge. Gohan goes Super Saiyan. I think it's just Super Saiyan. It might have been Super Saiyan 2. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, who knows?
It's hard. It's so hard to tell the difference between the two of them that Toriyama forgot Super Saiyan 2 existed.
Yeah, that sounds like him. Gohan has a brilliant plan because that energy wave just cracked open the earth and let lava up to the surface. He decided he's going to shoot an energy ball, which will separate the lava. He'll fly in the gap that he's now created. Broly will chase, and then Broly will just be slower for some reason and then get swallowed up by the lava instead of flying up slightly. And then Gohan goes, "Good, I did it," and just lies there until the lava eats him whole, like me at the end of recording podcasts.
Me too.
And then somebody shows up to rescue him, and he looks up and it's Piccolo, and he's like, "Oh, Piccolo rescued me." And then as they get up to the surface and he's safe now, he looks up at Piccolo, and it's actually Krillin wearing Piccolo's outfit because this movie's really dumb.
Not gonna lie, top 5 moment in any of these movies.
I mean, it's insane. There's literally no world where that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's
Krillin-
like Krillin read the script and decided to wear Piccolo's outfit when he did it.
I like the idea that it's just like Gohan's like, someone's helping me. Well, the only person I can count on in life is Piccolo. It must
Sure as
be
fuck
him.
count on my dad. He was like, no, don't revive me. By the way, I knocked up my wife again.
She wanted it.
You know, Krillin better hope Piccolo doesn't see him wearing that. I don't think he'll understand. Don't think that's his bit.
Yeah, Piccolo's not dead at this time, is he? He's just
No, he's not
yeah.
dead.
Yeah,
No.
they just did this because lol.
Yeah. So
Because they're insane, Bob.
So-
Just saying.
Broly does that thing where he has the cool sphere barrier around him and just floats up out of the lava. And the funniest fucking conversation happens where they're just like, "No way." And then Krillin's like, "Oh, why's it always gotta be like this? Why's it always happen to me? I guess this is the price I pay for being so awesome." And then he just gets obliterated by Broly.
Yeah.
I
That's
really-
the running theme of all these movies is Krillin gets owned and says, "Why me?"
It's really good though because he said, "I guess this is the price I pay for being so awesome," right before it happens. In the Japanese dub, of course, he just goes, "Number 18, I'm sorry, you'll have to take care of what comes after." And it's just like
My
Good jo-
body.
Yes. good job. Good job, US dub team. I think you really leaned into Krillin there. That seems to be the spirit of a man who keeps showing up for these battles despite the experiences he's had every time.
Yes. I think it would have been interesting if they tried to get 18 here and had her fight Broly. That'd been neat.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
well.
seems like, you know.
Don't worry, that's the next one.
That's true.
Yeah.
God damn it. God damn it.
That's not quite Broly though.
So they couldn't summon the dragon earlier. They tried to use the balls. They couldn't use it indoors. I think that was the only reason.
Yeah, that
they
was the bizarre thing of like, what do you mean? Why doesn't this work?
The Dragon Balls start
Imagine-
falling out of the bag. They start forming a circle on their own, and Broly keeps owning everyone.
Imagine they summon the dragons like, "Can you do something about Broly?" No.
No.
That's beyond my power.
I gave him a heroin addiction.
Again.
I got him canceled from the voice acting industry.
Oh, no.
Oh no, now he's weaker, right? No, he's just really pissed. Oh shit.
He has this really bad unofficial Funko Pop that Funko said was not
okay.
affiliated.
You gotta not mention that, man. Anyway, so you know, we do it. We become the meme. We start doing the beam battle with Broly. It's Gohan. It's Goten. They're trying to struggle against this giant beam Broly shot at them. And the Dragon Balls are activating at this moment. Goten, in the Japanese dub just says, like, what was it? Shenlong, help, please. But in the US dub, he says, "I wish my father was here." So that way, there's any reason this fucking connects.
Yeah,
right.
And then in the background, I think they just make a ball sound effect.
And they show the balls get slightly brighter. Shenlong's nowhere. There are dark clouds. Goku descends from them.
Yes.
He goes, "Hey guys, I'm here to be a kind of shitty dad who watches his kid do a team sport. Do it right! Shoot the Kamehameha! What are you doing? Everyone's gonna die!"
You know when you're walking home. But Dad, it's snowing.
Now, I have to question this because I didn't, of course, watch with, Japanese subs to know the script was there. No mouths move, so was all that dub?
No. There is some mouth movement, and in there's a lot of good and bad parenting going on.
Yeah, because I saw all of that stuff. I'm like, I don't see anyone's mouth moving. It just seems to be just Goku doing his America Goku thing.
Right.
So I just assumed it was double.
So I love this thing because you see this from a lot of people. They're like, "Oh no, it's the US dub that makes Goku seem like a shitty dad." Okay, so here's the thing. As I said, good and bad. Good, he's like, "Gohan, you need to concentrate. Goten, don't be scared." And then the next line is, "Are you guys going to be fine with it if everyone fucking dies?" And then the next line is, "You can't even protect it if I'm not around." And it's like, dude, what the fuck is your deal?
I knew trusting you was a mistake, Gohan.
Yeah, it's insane levels of parenting. Like, he's just baiting his kids. It's
I can't
nuts.
even be dead because my son's too much of a failure.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, speaking of his son, watching this, we got the "We Gotta Power" intro, really good. Love that song. Made me think back to when I saw that intro for the first time, and I was like, wow, this is so much in the future of Dragon Ball. I bet a bunch of really cool things happen between this thing I'm watching and the current, television airing and this movie that I have on VHS. This is bootleg. I bet lots of cool stuff happens. I'm going to love Gohan as the main protagonist. The focus on him from here on out is going to be really cool. There's so many new characters.
It'd be a shame if Toriyama didn't give a shit.
It would be a shame if Toriyama went, "I'm done with Gohan. Let's go back to Goku."
God, so
Why did I
bad.
write a story like this?
Oh.
I mean, Toriyama, we know for a fact that he wrote 1 month at a time, so 4 chapters at a time. So he never had a plan for anything. So yeah, there's a lot of, "Oh, I don't like this. I guess I'll just stop." Abruptly.
Anyway, finishing this up, Trunks walks up and he's like, "Blow it out your ass." And he throws a ball at him. Or in Japanese, he goes, "Man, this guy's really strong. That's kind of crazy."
God.
Slight difference between dubs. He throws an energy ball. It doesn't hit Broly. It doesn't even hit the large sphere Broly's pushing at the others. It hits one of the additional energy spheres that Broly's shooting into that sphere that's trying to crush the others.
I only vaguely understood what they wanted to be happening because it was so bad.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. It's like, oh, Goten stopped one of the several reinforcement balls. Did that help at all? I don't know. But then Goku, Goten, and Gohan yell a bunch and get madder, and their energy beam's real good. It's probably maximum and shoots Broly into the sun where his heart explodes into blood, and then he dies.
Yeah, you see him break into like 4 different pieces. Like his leg floats up.
He explodes like a confetti cannon coming out the other side of the sun.
Yeah. And then the movie ends. There's some lines about like Videl yelling at Gohan in the US dub, "Where were you when I was drowning in the ocean?" Which I
Very
appreciate.
reasonable, to be honest.
And then Gohan's like, "I learned about romance from my father," and that's the end of the discussion.
Yeah. He's like, "This is how all adults talk. Never grow up, Goten." And Goten's like, "Okay."
I just really like the line of, "That definitely was Goku. I'm sure of it." I'm like, yeah, he was right there, and he yelled at you to try harder.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, Goku isn't there after the battle. The Dragon Balls separate as though they brought him back to life.
Hey, my job here is done. You didn't do
Even
anything.
the narrator doesn't know what happened. They're like, who the fuck knows what happened? They said they saw their dad. Credits.
Yep. And then the credits reminded us of how bad the first Broly movie was. And that is Broly the Second Coming.
My skin is cold. Gentlemen, it's time for our most prestigious award on this show. The Yamcha Award. That's right. The biggest disappointment in this entire film. And I will select Bob. You get to go first.
Okay. It's a plethora of options here.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone jobs.
The harvest has happened.
I'm going to just give it to Goten. I'll let you guys take the rest.
Okay.
Goten spends most of this movie wandering around while Trunks is fighting Broly. Goten's just like, oh, I'm gonna go get the Dragon Ball, and then he pees, and then he starts like the Dragon Ball, then he gets high again, lunges off, and then he goes and yells.
What a good.
You doing okay? You doing okay, Trunks? Trunks is like having his head wrenched off.
Yeah.
Just the greatest summary for how bad this movie is. He said he's gonna go get the Dragon Balls, and then he pees.
Then he somehow fails to summon the dragon. Something no one the whole series has done.
He's like, oh man, maybe I have to go outside.
Now,
Which all that told me is that this thing was written incorrectly.
maybe I'm being mean here, but I feel like Pilaf could fuck that up.
He didn't, though.
I know he didn't, but I feel like he could.
I'm gonna. God. Phil, you can go next.
Broly.
Okay, why? Please, as if I've never seen this. Tell me why he would ever be a jobber.
Broly went from so fucking strong he could fight every single character in the cast at once and not even flinch to his rivals are these two children.
This might be one of the greatest downgrades I've ever seen.
I have to be convinced that just nobody who thinks Broly is awesome saw either other Broly movie.
I just assume the people that were working on this don't like the guy who made Broly.
The guy that made Broly is deeply terrible because he did interviews where he's like, I would have gone in a real different direction with Beerus. He would have been a lot more like Broly. Which is the thing.
Broly's the coolest. He can beat up anyone. He can beat up Jiren.
God, I'm really glad they rewrote Broly entirely. Thank God.
It's such an improvement.
I feel like there was some interview where he was like crying Wojak over that.
Yeah, there is. Of course.
All right, Dan.
Now, I actually was going to choose Broly, a very obvious pick, but, the most deserved one, I feel.
Yes.
Absolutely. He only has one good shot, the one you posted earlier. You okay?
Yeah, I just needed to look something up to make sure I got the name correct. I'm going to give biggest jobber to Comet Komori, which didn't do the job. It didn't kill Broly, and that was it in film.
Oh my God, I hate you.
How the fuck did it not work?
I don't know.
God, it's so upsetting. Because, guys, I don't know how many of you people can remember back to the Broly movie. I never saw the first one. I only saw this one and the next one. So I always imagined that first one was good and these suck. So just to hear, he clearly fucking died.
I was about to say, I remember the first Broly being okay. Then I looked at your score of that one and went, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
I understand now.
Also, okay for a Dragon Ball Z movie is different from,
Who cares? We hardly watch good movies on any show we do. I have no time to watch films.
But yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Comet Komori.
I have an inspired choice. Shenron.
Didn't even show up for his fucking job. What a loafing piece of shit.
Yeah.
Number one, he does not show up in the film. Number two, his balls don't fucking work at one point. Mainly, you say, Casey, that's the writer's fault because they ruined the film. They fucking got him into a position where he could stop it, but we're 15 minutes into the film. There's nothing they can do. Number three, Goku gets summoned, but only for a moment. What kind of fucking wish is that? And even the narrator's confused because really, the film had no idea what was going on. This might be the worst use of Dragon Balls across the entire franchise.
I like how in this one they gave us a character who showed up for the sake of being owned in a single punch, and yet he didn't win this. Not one of us nominated Krillin.
I'd never seen this before this Mondo Cool. This blew me on my ass. I was shocked. Well, it's time for a real hard one here. You need to pick someone from this film. Dan, we're going to start with you. Who could beat Jiren from Dragon Ball Super? A character you have no reference for aside from memes and one panel from the
One panel that is his entire character, according to this show.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's very clear Kamori can't.
You know what's funny? The last time we did a Broly movie, I think one of us said it could.
Yeah, I know. What a disappointment. No wonder it won the Yamcha Award. I'm gonna go ahead and say Broly because he won't die. He'll just keep coming back stupider and more brain damaged and more powerful.
At some point.
You know, he was very slow moving throughout this to a detriment, but he moves more than Jiren does.
I mean, apparently, according to fighters, Jiren can just look at something and then it gets punched 300 times.
It's very cool.
It's really cool. It is, in fact, very cool. He just looks at him and suddenly he's confetti on the other side of a fucking sun.
That's okay. He's got 7 more in him.
Feel.
A crater full of water that then freezes.
Explain your work.
Jiren looks kind of like a frog, therefore he's obviously cold-blooded and could not handle being frozen.
We'll knock him out for at least 7 years.
I'm kind of upset at how fast that was. Just like, wow, there's some thought here. It's that's scary for a Toriyama related project we're on here. Hey, Bob.
The sun.
Ooh.
I mean, obviously, but I think can disintegrate Broly. Of course, it would disintegrate
yeah.
Now,
Jiren.
Of course, Broly's dead, you guys. He's finally dead. The sun killed him.
The sun has a slightly better kill rate than Comet Kamori because it probably killed Broly. It failed to kill Cooler,
Yeah.
so it isn't
I mean-
absolute.
It mostly killed Cooler. All we had left were the cells so that Vidger could find him.
Feature. God damn it.
It just had God. You know, when you think about it, anyone who comes into contact with the sun automatically gets a sequel.
Yes.
That's the thing, though. I was thinking about it, and it's like, doesn't the world's strongest end with shooting the bastard into the sun?
Oh, God, it might.
I don't think so.
Maybe he just got shot into space, and he's like, "I'll come back."
He jumped into space and was like, "I'm gonna use my big laser to
Yeah.
blow up the Earth."
Yeah.
And then Goku throws a spirit bomb that owns the laser and it eviscerates him.
Oh, okay. I thought
Which
somehow.
was very smart of him when he's like, no, you're not. You're not.
On some level, I'm glad we got past the spirit bomb in these movies because it was always Goku's answer.
I appreciated the one where he eats the spirit bomb.
Yes,
in
that is the
Super
best
Android
one.
13.
And just becomes more pissed than anybody ever has been.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this was actually more exciting when we had the spirit bomb. Now it's just like, I guess Kamehameha's work.
But now it's group Kamehamehas.
Yeah,
That's teamwork.
but not Trunks. He's not part of the family.
No, he's
Yeah.
not fam.
He doesn't matter.
He's too busy pissing.
Who could be Jiren? Trunks. We don't know if Jiren has an adverse reaction to urine.
Yeah, it's true. The the ammonia in it just might be toxic to his species.
Yep.
No one tried peeing on him. Weird.
Yeah, it is weird. It's a Toriyama thing.
I guess they're no kids.
Huh.
He was hands off, so there was a lot more freedom in not doing that than there was on offer.
Yeah, he mostly just shoots you with one energy ball and then turns around and folds his arms and the energy ball explodes.
Now you understand why I like Jiren so much.
It sounds like you're making it up.
That's one of his moves in Fighters.
He literally does that to the character who is a insert for Broly. He shoots her with the energy ball, turns around and says, "It's over," and folds his arms, and then the energy ball explodes.
Voiced by Patrick Seitz. All right. Segment number 3. We have to take the villain of this film, which would, I guess, be Broly. You gotta put him up against someone from canon Dragon Ball, which we also include GT, because why not? I'm gonna let Dan go first.
This is really complicated.
Anybody you want.
Now, I haven't watched all of GT, but I'm going to swing for the fences here. I'm going to believe in a series that has a comeback for a certain character. Okay? I think Pan can do it.
Gonna be honest, when you said comeback, I'm like, don't you fucking say Super Android 17.
No. I don't. I mean, while that would be the rawest battle in all of Dragon Ball because it's Super 17 and Broly, I'm gonna go with Pan. Because
Gonna be real. My brain, when you said Pan, went, oh my god, the only thing that could be worse, Broly 4. He's back again, but now it's Goten, Trunks, and Pan.
Oh!
that would be.
She time travels so we can make the worst piece of content known to man.
See, they'd be bad enough if they were like their weird teenage burnout selves from GT, but her time traveling is somehow even worse.
I mean, we discovered in this film that Broly will only fight children, so I get where you're coming from, Dad.
Yes, he's a fucking criminal.
He will be very happy while doing it.
Yeah. When Broly was like smiling as he was pulling Goten's arms off, I was like, yeah, that's how I feel about kids too.
Oh no.
Bob!
I'm just gonna say go tanks.
Ooh.
Yeah. Once they fuse, Broly wouldn't stand a chance.
I mean, you're correct.
It's a good thing this movie didn't have a cool thing in it.
Yes.
Yeah. Couldn't stand a chance against Galactic Donuts.
True.
Wouldn't that have been cool to see Broly try to break out of the Galactic Donuts?
Don't worry, Phil.
Or
We
be
get
like-
another Broly film. Maybe it'll happen that time.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Goten and Trunks are there too.
Yeah, so it makes sense, right? Right?
Yeah, well, of course, they are the nemesis to Broly now.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. What the fuck was I thinking?
I'm actually getting angry. just straight up angry. No, I can't pick someone from the early era. I was thinking like early characters. Like, no, that won't work. In Dragon Ball GT, there's the arc for Super 17, but at one point Nappa comes back.
Yeah.
But I'm going to assume that he was stronger so he could be Broly.
Ooh.
Despite the fact that he came back and then he said Vegeta, and then Vegeta immediately murdered him 5 seconds later.
But that was GT Vegeta, who's even more hardcore because of his mustache.
Which he then I believe shaved because his fucking daughter's like, that looks stupid, and then he cried.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened.
His teenage daughter said he wasn't hip.
I'll show you not hip. I'll get a man bun.
Oh, God.
I don't want to imagine Man Bun Vegeta. Somehow
that's
his
so
hairline
bad.
gets worse.
I can't even imagine Toriyama drawing a man bun.
7 head. He gets a 7 head.
His hairline's so bad you see his brain.
Plus, you know, if any Dragon Ball character is going to get a man bun, it's Yamcha. Like, he's the one. It's like, maybe now Bulma will come back to me that I got this cool modern haircut. And he gets hit by a car.
He would do that.
I think Phil needs to go last.
Okay, someone who could defeat Broly. I'm gonna say Goku Black.
Yeah.
Because Broly is homophobic. So when Goku Black turns pink, Broly just loses all his powers.
Oh, he's literally
you.
scared of them. Oh, okay, I get it.
His skin is cold. We need to get out of here.
And then you get Broly screaming Kakarot, and then Goku Black says some 18 paragraph long Zamasu rant
God.
that essentially boils down to screaming mortals re.
Yeah, that's you distilled the character pretty precisely there.
That is one of my favorite things. That Zamasu does have Mortals Re as a dramatic finish, where he talks for about 20 seconds.
He has it as
before
an
getting
intro.
fucked. Yeah, but his dramatic finish is just him getting interrupted and murdered. All right, we need to get out of here badly. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to give our review, and then we're going to give it a score. This can be 1 to 7, and then we combine them all together to see how this ranks among, I was going to say the best of the best, but just the other 15 things we've watched on this show. We're going to start with the most optimistic and kind person to give reviews, Dan.
I don't know that that's true. I actually haven't built an averaging function into the spreadsheet, but I'm going to do that after I give my score.
Also, last episode, the nuclear option was activated. Usually we go 1 to 7, but I've given up and allowed people to vote 0 if they wish.
Yeah, that was man. Anyway, so Broly the Second Coming is terrible. It is absolutely awful. It is really, really bad. But the ways in which it is bad and the ways in which it is good are not as severe as Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan. So I think after everything's said and done, it actually comes out about even. So I'm going to give it a 2. This movie doesn't have very cool shots in it, but it's also not forever long, and you wish for death to escape it. It doesn't have a paper-thin plot.
Long as Broly.
Oh, yeah, I would have given it a 1.
Yeah. Where it's an original Broly was like 90 minutes.
And it's a paper-thin Scooby-Doo plot. That's the worst part. We're just like, we're just going to hang out on this planet with this skeezy dude for fucking an hour. Oh, man, that was really bad. But this is genuinely bad, too. There's a double piss. There's so much bad about it. They forgot to write in a scene where they found out the necklace didn't have a Dragon Ball. It's real weird. Really weird. And not great. So I'm giving it a 2.
Bob, do that thing that he did.
Okay. It's bad, but it's that bad in a regular DBZ movie way of bad. Of like, it's just not very good. There's a bunch of problems, but there's some cool shots, and Videl has a good dress. I'm going to rate it the same as Broly, the last one. I gave it 3, because it's not as good as any of the stuff I gave it 4. Like Cooler's Revenge is way better. World's Strongest is way better, but it's not as bad as something that would get a 2. So it just can't. It can't like escape that.
I mean, this makes sense. You gave the first Broly movie a 3, and our comments are identical to how we feel about it. So yeah, it makes sense that we're literally equal to the scores we gave that.
Yeah, no, it just couldn't escape still being a Broly movie.
Maybe some biological enhancements will help the next one.
Hopefully.
They might.
I'm thinking that one may be the best.
It could be, which is really screwed up.
The audience will shit their pants, and I'm waiting for it. Theo, you can go next.
This is bad in a really mundane way.
Yes! I've been searching for the word to describe this.
Which
Mundane.
I think makes it overall less enjoyable to watch, because the original Broly being 25 minutes longer was horrible. But at least you got Vegeta sobbing like a cuck and Broly flexing at people to make them get owned. And you don't really have that here.
No.
So I'm just gonna give it a 2.
Okay.
Because it's certainly not on the level of like Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans,
No.
No, it's not that.
but it's not good.
Also, it doesn't have the problem some of the other things like maybe History of Trunks had, where it's like, we're going to keep repeating these events for the whole film, and, you know, that'll be great. We didn't have them both piss on Broly and then take a break and then come back 2 years later and piss on Broly again.
You know, just like History of Trunks, I feel like the writers here had a rough time. The entire ending of this film and everything dealing with the Dragon Balls felt somewhat similar to History of Trunks, where Trunks seemingly is dead, but he didn't.
But he didn't, and why?
And we refuse to tell you why. This was mundanely rough.
Yeah.
It had the benefit of not being as long as the original one, but the original one had more things going on. It had the most insane plot I've seen in any of these films, and some more other areas, weird aliens and stuff. But this was just rough. The characters they've chosen, Goten and Trunks, they're bad. They're really bad.
Yeah.
And I was suffering. But then I was like, what mindset did watching it actively put me in compared to other things, and just scored close to that? And I'm like, Tree of Might, so it's getting a 3.
Okay. Well, that brings it up to a 10. An average score of 2.5.
Ooh.
Wow. So what you're telling me is that it's 10 times better than Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans.
Yes.
So before anyone's like, oh no, they're going through a bad era, I'm like, I don't know, we seem like on the up and up right now.
Yeah.
We're on the uptrend. Can the next one keep us going up?
I hope so.
I kind of have hope. I kind of have hope for that, actually.
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out where this places in the thing.
Oh, you're trying to. Oh man, do we
have fucking? I'm the baby bird. Fucking put the food in my mouth.
This is
fucking
not-
figure out where that is.
This is not as
between
easy.
Curse of the Blood Rubies and Sleeping Princess and Devil's Castle.
As we double check Feels math. Yes. There you go.
Okay, so what number is that?
That would put
Be
it
10
at
now.
10.
Oh.
And then that would move our three-way tie down to 11th, 12th, and 13th with Sleeping Devil and Princess Castle's Tree of Might and Bardock, the father of Goku, in that three-way tie from hell.
Okay. So, after tabulating all the information, folks, here's what we have here's what we're looking at in terms of the nightmare that is our ranking list. I have almost entirely given up on telling you the points because I have to scan my eyes through this spreadsheet 87 times to figure it out. But going from worst to best, we have at I think this is like dead last, Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans. This got a 1 out of 20 out of 28 points. The only person to give it a point was Feel, a coward. That's what I have to say about that. Next up, we had the return of Cooler, which for a while was our worst scoring thing because at the time no one could go lower than a 1. So that ended up getting a nice cheeky 4. Only just better with a 5 was History of Trunks, and those are our nightmare 3. Mm-hmm. From there, we have a 3-way tie between Bardock, Father of Goku, Tree of Might, and Sleeping Princess and Devil's Castle. Then, at number 10, Broly Second Coming, which we just watched.
Yeah!
Yeah, there we go. We color the spreadsheet based on like the power level of things. It is just barely in the third one, which is red, but at least it's not the bottom 3 that are in black with red text, as if they are a satanic being. Then coming in at number 9, Curse of the Blood Rubies, followed by the original Broly film. Then Mystical Adventure, World's Strongest, BoJack Unbound. Then a tie for third between Lord Slug and Cooler's Revenge, followed by number 2, Super Android 13. That was a special time back then when we gave things over 20. That got a 21. Ooh. And then number 1, still by 1 point at 22, is Dead Zone.
I'm scared. There's only 3 more Dragon Ball Z movies. Will any of them get above a 20? Will Dead Zone be unseated?
No, not until we watch the newest movie.
It's okay. There's still so many things left. There's so many things left. There's OVAs.
Yeah, that's true.
There's the Super era stuff. There's that Dragon Ball GT special. There's so many things that could get above a 22.
There's the episode of Bardock that tells what happens after Bardock got hit by the energy
There's
ball.
that special for Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2 that is the thing we watched last time, only even worse animated.
and half the length, thank God.
Yeah, half the length might help.
But it won't give us instructions how to beat a Famicom game.
Well, I'm glad we were able to figure things out. We're going to close out the show as we always do. Phil wrote something about what we're watching next. Bob's going to read it, and as always, I never edit it, so let's see how this goes.
More Broly. But Broly is dead. We killed him. He went through the sun and exploded into confetti. You still want more Broly? Fine, I guess. I won't be blamed. Next time on Mondo Cool, Dragon Ball Z, Bio Broly.
It's a lot of colons and banana.